am Jenna, a Chinese-American girl growing up in the United States, caught between two worlds and never fully belonging to either. My childhood was a blend of two cultures on one side, the traditional values of my Chinese family, on the other, the strong influence of Western culture. I always felt like I was straddling a line between these two worlds, never entirely fitting into either. When I was young, my parents separated. My mother was frequently busy with work, and though I understood she was trying to provide for our family, I often felt neglected. She rarely asked about my feelings, my school life, or whether I was happy or sad. My father, who I felt closest to, left when I was too young to grasp the situation fully. I felt like a lost child, seeking comfort from my one and only friend Lisa. Lisa was the one person I could share everything with. We had been in the same class since elementary school and had been best friends ever since. Lisa never judged me for my cultural differences, my imperfect English, or the unique habits I picked up from my family. Despite her unwavering friendship, school life was far from easy. I was often the target of jokes and teasing for no apparent reason. One of my biggest tormentors was Peter, a popular yet arrogant boy. He epitomized the stereotypical popular student with smug smiles and disrespectful behavior. Whenever he saw me, he'd find something to mock my hair, my skin, even the small habits I had learned from my family. His jokes didn't just embarrass me. They made me feel like an outsider, someone who would never be accepted. I tried not to let his actions hurt me, but sometimes the loneliness became unbearable. I didn't want my mother to know about this because I feared she would respond with her usual cold, indifferent advice. My life seemed to revolve around conflicts at school and lonely nights gazing out the window, wondering if things would ever change. Things took a turn when I turned 15. My mother and I had been arguing incessantly. She didn't understand me, and I couldn't understand her. One evening, after an intense argument, I decided to run away. Without much thought or plan, driven by anger, I stormed out of the house. I ran through the empty streets, leaving behind all the tension and misunderstandings. The darkness engulfed me, and though my heart was full of rage, a part of me was terrified. I didn't know where I was going or what lay ahead. All I knew was that I needed to escape her. Control and indifference. As I crossed the streets, lost in my thoughts, fate intervened. A car hit me, and before I could comprehend what had happened, everything went black. When I regained consciousness, my world had changed forever. The darkness wasn't just from the night I had lost my sight. The pain I felt wasn't just physical. It was the crushing realization that my life would never be the same. Everything I had hoped for, every dream of a better life, now felt distant and unattainable. I couldn't see Lisa anymore, couldn't see the world around me. All I had was silence and the fear of what lay ahead. But in that dark despair, something miraculous happened. I don't know how long I had been in the hospital when I woke up to find my mother by my bedside, a presence I never expected. Despite her usual lack of emotional expression and the tension in our relationship, she didn't leave my side this time. For the first time, I felt a genuine sense of care from her. Though my sight never returned, I discovered new ways to navigate life. I learned to experience the world through sound and touch. Lisa remained by my side, always ready to help. Even though I couldn't see her, I knew she was there for me. Slowly, I began to accept myself and this new reality. Life was difficult, but I found the strength to move forward. However, just as I started to adjust, an unexpected figure re-entered my life, Peter. Peter, the boy I had despised, the source of so much of my pain, suddenly appeared in my darkest days. His presence confused me. How could the person who had hurt me so much now show care? I doubted his intentions and struggled to trust him. Yet, over time, Peter changed. His teasing turned into small acts of kindness, helping me navigate school, offering words of encouragement. He wasn't the same boy I once knew. His actions were no longer thoughtless. They carried warmth and sincerity. Peter's efforts didn't just help me adjust to my new life. They also began to mend my heart. Slowly, I started to see a side of him I hadn't known existed, a side that genuinely cared. One day, Peter surprised me by inviting me to the school dance. I was stunned. How could someone like him want to share such a moment with someone like me? I didn't know if it was pity or something deeper, but part of me wanted to believe in his sincerity. As time went on, I learned a shocking truth. Peter was the driver who had caused my accident. The revelation shattered me. The person who had been my tormentor, then my support, was also the reason for my blindness. Anger, betrayal, and sadness consumed me. And I pushed Peter away. But Peter didn't leave. He confessed everything, including how the accident had haunted him. He had been working to make amends, from funding my surgery to standing by me through my struggles. Despite my pain, I couldn't deny the change in him. Eventually, I forgave Peter. It wasn't easy, but I realized that holding onto anger wouldn't heal me. Peter had transformed, and so had I. Together, we decided to move forward. Not defined by the mistakes of the past, but by the hope of a better future. At the school dance, standing beside Peter, I no longer felt like the timid girl lost in darkness. I was Jenna, resilient and hopeful, ready to embrace whatever came next. In that moment, I realized that even the most painful experiences can lead to growth, understanding, and, perhaps, as the night of the school dance unfolded, I found myself standing amidst the hum of voices, the rhythm of the music, and the warmth of a hand guiding me. Peter's presence was steady, his voice calm as he reassured me.
"You're doing great. Jenna, just follow my lead."
His words held a weight of sincerity that I couldn't ignore, and for the first time in what felt like forever, I allowed myself to let go of my fears. The world had taken so much from me, but in this moment, I realized it had also given me something unexpected, a chance to rebuild, to connect, and to heal. Peter wasn't just someone I forgave. He was someone who taught me the power of redemption, not just for him, but for myself. He reminded me that I wasn't defined by the things I had lost, but by how I chose to move forward. Dancing wasn't easy, but Peter's patience and care made it possible. As the music swirled around us, I felt a kind of freedom I hadn't known in years. With each step, it was as if I was letting go of the pain, the anger, and the doubts that had weighed me down. Peter was no longer just a figure from my past. He was a partner in my journey toward a brighter future. The days following the dance brought new challenges. Forgiveness isn't a single moment, but a continuous choice. One day, Peter surprised me again. He brought me to an open field just outside of town, where he described the sky painted with vibrant colors of a setting sun.
"It's beautiful,
He said softly, holding my hand.
but not as beautiful as the courage you've shown, Jenna."
His words didn't just feel like compliments, they felt like truths I needed to hear. I couldn't see the sunset, but in that moment, I felt its warmth through his voice and presence. For the first time, I truly believed that losing my sight didn't mean losing my ability to experience beauty. Together, we decided to do something meaningful. Peter and I started working with local organizations that supported individuals with disabilities. We shared our story, not to dwell on the pain, but to inspire others to see that hope exists even in the darkest times. One afternoon, as we sat together in the park, Peter's voice broke the comfortable silence.
"Jenna,
He began hesitantly.
there's something I've been working on. It's not finished, but I want you to be the first to know."
Curiosity piqued. I tilted my head. "What is it?" I asked.
"I've been writing about everything. The accident, the struggles, and how we've managed to rebuild our lives."
His tone carried carried both vulnerability and pride.
I want to share a story, not just to tell people what happened, but to show them that even in the darkest moments, there's a way to find light.
I was speechless. The thought of our lives being laid bare for others to see was both terrifying and exhilarating. But deep down, I knew Peter's intentions were pure. He wasn't just telling a story. He was offering hope to those who needed it most. That's incredible, Peter, I finally said. But are you ready for people to know everything? The pain, the mistakes,
And the redemption.
He interrupted gently.
Yes, I am, and I wouldn't be here without you.
His words lingered in the air, and for the first time, I truly felt the magnitude of how far we'd come. We had turned tragedy into a narrative of growth, a testament to the human spirit's capacity for healing. A few months later, Peter's manuscript was complete. He titled it Through the Darkness, a name that encapsulated not only my journey of blindness, but also our shared struggle to find clarity and purpose. In time, I learned that life isn't about achieving perfection, but about finding beauty in imperfection. It's about embracing the scars that tell our stories and using them to inspire others to find their own strength. Looking back now, I see that every challenge, every tear, and every moment of doubt was part of a greater planet journey that shaped me into the person I am today. I am Jenna, a girl who lost her sight, but gained a vision far greater than anything eyes can see. And through it all, I've learned that even in the darkest times, there is always a light waiting to be found.